What is up, YouTubians? Kudamalo here, coming at you with another exciting video showing everybody what to look for when they're sprouting their seeds, right? To make seeds from microgreens and that kind of stuff. Or maybe you just want to make sprouts and you're trying to be more health conscious. You're using them in your salads or on your sandwiches or whatever the case may be. Okay, so this is a really good example of something healthy, something that looks good. It may look kind of funky and weird, but that's actually normal, especially give or take around day 2, day 3 of the sprouting process. What you've got is you've got a main root, right? So the white part is the root, the little pink part up there is the actual sprout. And then you've got all these little tiny little micro roots that are coming off of the main root. So when they're bundled up or bunched up like this, it might be harder to tell. Like you may need a good light and like a magnifying glass or that kind of a thing. But something to be aware of, to look out for, is that color, right? That beautiful opaque white, kind of translucent, kind of a white kind of color on the roots. That's definitely a good sign, a healthy sign. So those are the things to look out for if you want to snapshot this or basically screenshot this or whatever. But that's basically what you're looking for. Is you're looking for all those little tiny hairs. That's a good sign. Okay, what you don't want to see, right? Let me go back to reality here for a second. What you don't want to see is you don't want to see something where all those little tiny little hairs are crossing over each other, right? Or something that looks like a bird's nest, right? Where it's all funky and gnarled and mangled all together. It could be a little tiny spot. It could be a bigger, larger area. That would be mold or fungus. So that's what you want to try to avoid. Also, you would notice a color difference. Like instead of them being this nice, beautiful, clear, translucent kind of opaque white color, what would happen is they would be more darker in color, or you might get spots like brown spots or black spots or that kind of a thing, or gray, like any kind of gray. That's usually a bad sign. But you'll know it'll be like a really dark, funky, gnarly kind of a gray, like a nasty looking gray. That could be a sign of mold or fungus, so be careful. And obviously, like I said, I don't do any sprouting in the closets or any kind of like enclosed space because I want the air to circulate. Thus, another reason why the sprouting lids are a good idea. Okay, so getting into it, the whole process, if somebody wants to know, I've done other videos on this, but the short, sweet version of that is I put in this time a tablespoon of the sprouting seeds into a 32-ounce mason jar. That's what this is. Use the stainless steel sprouting lids. And then basically let the seeds soak overnight for about 12 hours so they can hydrate and start the germination process. It's important that I used filtered water, right? Because city water can have fluorides and chlorine and chemicals in it. And those harsh chemicals may kill off the sprouting process, may terminate the germination. Anyways, you get the idea. So then after that 12 hours, what I'll do is I'll pour off the water, try to get as much out of the jar as I possibly can. Usually I pour off the water into like some other plants that I have or into the garden or whatever, just want to recycle the water. And then every 12 hours, right? So every 12 hours, what I'll do is I'll fill up the jar with clean filtered water again, let the seeds soak for about 5 minutes so that they can rehydrate, and then pour off the excess water again. The way I store the jar is on my kitchen countertop, usually in a shady area, a part that doesn't get any direct sunlight, especially for the first 4 or 5 days, because sunlight may kill all of those little tiny, beautiful looking, gorgeous baby roots, micro roots that are forming in there. So that's very, very important. That's basically it. Okay, so then going back to the video review, this is Seed Kingdom Amaranth Red Garnet. Right, in case anybody's curious about this company. The packaging is baller. Like, I gotta say, this is pretty awesome packaging. They definitely spent some time and some money for this packaging. It's good. It's a resealable pouch. You get the idea. Some people may go to an extreme and take the seeds out of here and then put them into a clean mason jar with a sealing lid and that kind of a thing. I'm not that extreme right now, but if you wanted to do that, go ahead, be my guest. It's totally fine. Okay, so talking about this packaging further, you can tell it's a good quality, like laminated type of a plastic or whatever. They do put a warning label on here. Seller gives no further warranty, yada, yada. Basically, there's a warning for suffocation. That's good because this bag is pretty significant. It's about the size of my hand, pretty much, give or take. This is the 1 pound bag. I find that buying in bulk, usually you get a better discount, right? Best bang for the buck, highest quality products I can find for the lowest possible prices. So that's one of the reasons why I do buy in bulk. Okay, looking at the packaging right off the bat, I'll give you the pros, the things that I like. What I do like is they're letting me know that they are Seed Kingdom. They've got an awesome logo, cartoony kind of thing. That's awesome. The first label, Amaranth Red Garnet, this lets me know that what they've put in here is actually what they've put in here, right? Or they're labeling it at least. There is a lot number, which is awesome because what they're doing is they're keeping track of different lots to see maybe which lot of their harvest is more productive or less productive, stronger growing, greater percentage of germination and sprouting. You get the idea. So they're keeping track of that, and they put the lot number on the bag. Another good thing I like seeing is the germination rate, 90%, right? I would say most of mine are somewhere in that ballpark. Like I would say 5%, maybe way less than 10%. So it's good that they put 90%. I think they under-promised and over-delivered, right? Which is always good in anything that anybody does. But I would say 5% maybe have not yet germinated, right? There's a couple that haven't yet germinated yet, and I'm sure those will start to sprout soon, but it's definitely a good high percentage. So at least I know the quality is there. Okay, then they put their address, their P.O. box, whatever it is. Okay, the second label, right? This is their barcode label, their inventory system label. What's good about this is I do like seeing the barcode. It basically means they're using a software like Zytec, right? Or some kind of software to keep track of their inventory so that way they know what they've sold, what they haven't sold. You know, also keeping track of the lot. That might be part of that too. But what I like seeing is that this label, Amaranth Red Garnet, matches this label, Amaranth Red Garnet, right? So that lets me know that there's two forms of visual assurity that at least I know that what I paid for is what's in this package. I'm not sure exactly how they do it. Maybe they put the first label on, they send it down the line, they fill up the bag, and then they put the second label on at the end of the line just to make sure that what's on the front label and where they started, they pack the product, and then what's on the second label and what they packed in here is actually what I paid for. So that's good news. Okay, some things to be aware of. Seed Kingdom, if you're watching this video, this is meant for you primarily. Is I don't know, looking at this label, if these seeds are non-GMO, if they're organic, or if they're heirloom. You could advertise it, you could put it on your website, you could do whatever you want to do, but it would be nice somewhere on the label, if that is the case, to let me know that it's non-GMO, right? Meaning that it's non-genetically modified, that it hasn't been altered over the course of them harvesting and then making seeds again and reharvesting. That would be nice to see that. Also, if they're heirloom seeds, right? Heirloom means that basically they haven't been altered much since they've been doing this process and that they've been doing that. And also the last thing is the organic. If they are organic, please put that somewhere on these labels so that I can see that. What organic basically means is that the product has not been treated with chemicals during the growing phase, right? So a lot of companies that are doing any kind of growing farming, what they will do is they will use Roundup or that kind of a thing. It's I forgot the exact technical name. I think it's glyphosate or something, or phosphoglyphosate, something like that. But they're basically, some companies or some farmers will put harsh chemicals on because they're trying to keep the bugs and the pests away. What organic basically means is that they're using a more natural type of pesticide to basically keep the bugs and the pests out of their product. Sometimes people will use a product like this, which is diatomaceous earth, right? Diatomaceous earth is basically a more natural way of keeping the pesticides away. So they'll use something like that. So it would be good to see on the label if it's organic. If that is the case, that would be awesome. Anyways, overall, I'm pretty happy with this. They are sprouting pretty nicely. This is about day 2.5, day 3 into the sprouting process, and they are coming along quite nicely. So I'm happy with the product so far. I think these will reach full maturity in something like 7 to 10 days. Give or take is usually about the norm. And then what I will do is for that final rinse, I'll use, again, clean filtered water, rinse them out, try to get as much water out as possible. And usually I'll just stick the whole jar in my fridge so that they can last maybe another few days or so. Or sometimes just leave them out on the countertop. You don't know, sometimes you get a couple stragglers, but I'll keep doing that process of rehydration for 5 minutes, right, every 12 hours, and then just keep plucking them out and using them as I need them. So salads, they're good on like sandwiches. You know, basically back in the day, like in the 70s and the 80s, people were doing alfalfa sprouts. I think now people are kind of sprouting everything. And Amaranth Red Garnet is one of those like powerhouse superfood, kind of a microgreen type thing that I chose to do. Anyways, now would be an awesome time to hit that subscribe button down there below. I'm really trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of this month. Let's try to make that happen. Also, hit the notification bell if you want to be notified of more great content like this. I usually try to put a little bit of something For everybody or almost everybody in most of my videos, there's obviously a lot of variety and that kind of thing. So that's a reason why you want to subscribe and hit the subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell. Also, down in the description there down below, there is a link to my Facebook page. That's Cooter Malloy Product Reviews. So make sure you hit that page. Follow, like, and subscribe on Facebook if you like what you're seeing. Cooter Malloy Product Reviews on Facebook. Also, down in the description there down below, there's some links to some really, really cool products. You might want to check those out. I'm always on the quest to find the highest possible quality products I can possibly find at the lowest possible prices. That's the reason for Cooter Malloy's product reviews. Anyways, go ahead and check all that stuff out. Subscribe button, like button, notification bell. Go ahead and hit all those. The Facebook page, the products in the description there down below. I'm Cooter Malloy, and I will catch you all on the next exciting video.